hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. We are now around soft men and hard times.
You have to become the kind of person that can push through the hard times. Most people can't do that. Most people cannot push through the challenging, the draining, the frustrating times that make everybody else quit. So you have to build yourself into someone who has the discipline, the fortitude, the grit, the perseverance to become someone who is literally fucking incapable of quitting. We all go through hard times. We all have struggles. We all have days where we wake up and we'd rather not do what we have to do. And sometimes that lasts for months. Sometimes that lasts for fucking years in my case, okay? But the reality is, shit's gotta get done. You make commitments, you stand by the commitments, you fucking do that shit. It's called being a fucking grown adult. It's called being a man. This is the product of this victim culture, mental health garbage shit that gets shoved out into society for likes, views, shares, comments, and personal clout and money by this predatory industry that makes everybody feel like there's something wrong with them. Bro, there's nothing wrong with you. Life is hard. It's very fucking hard. And sometimes it's so hard it's almost unbearable.
The best pathway forward is to face the things that challenge, confront, and threaten you voluntarily.
Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans.
But all I have to do is be a little bit better than my miserable self yesterday. And that'll propel you forward very rapidly.
Life is suffering. Yes. Well, who wants to admit that? Well, just think about it. Well, so what do you do in the face of that suffering? Try to reduce it.
In the darkness, when things are bad, you have to look and see where things are still beautiful and where there's still something that's sustaining. You be grateful for what you have. That can get you through some very dark times, and maybe even successfully if you're lucky. But even if unsuccessfully, then maybe it's only tragic and not absolute hell. And you can do that. In the worst situation, you can make it only tragic and not hell. And there's a big gap between tragedy and hell. If we didn't all attempt to make terrible things even worse than they are, then maybe we could tolerate terrible things that we have to put up with in order to exist. And maybe we could make the world into a better place. It's what we should be doing and what we could be doing because we don't have anything better to do.
Every single one of you who is struggling right now, you need to understand this. What you're going through right now is necessary. What do you mean it's necessary? It's necessary because what's happening right now is you are forging the fucking skills. You are forging the determination. You are forging the grit. You are forging the fortitude. You are forging all the fucking things that nobody else is gaining because they're sitting on their hands and you're willing to push through. This fire you're feeling, this pressure you're feeling, this frustration you're feeling, this is what is going to make you into the weapon that you are going to become that will then build the life that you are out to build. It's very, very important for people to realize we're all going to go through difficult times. The hard times never stop coming. The only way that we can truly move through life is by continuing to progress, continuing to get better, continuing to become a better version of ourselves, and continuing to help other people become better versions of themselves. And this will make these things much easier to deal with over the course of time. If you find yourself in a place of zero momentum, you're dead in the water, your life is chaos, you're full of anxiety, realize that you can create the momentum, and it's very simple. You go back to point number one, where you control the things that you can control, and you push through day after day after day after day when it's extremely hard, when it's extremely frustrating, when it's extremely uncomfortable for you to do, and you get to a point where it starts to become more comfortable. And this is where the momentum starts to take over. And guess what? It's going to be the hardest thing you ever did. Along the way, you're going to lose all your fucking friends. You're going to struggle. There's going to be multiple fucking days where you don't think that you're going to make it. And those days sometimes last for months. Nobody's going to relate to you. No one's going to understand why you're doing it. Everybody's going to question it. You can laugh at it all you want, bro. And I'm going to tell you this. They might laugh at you now. Everybody laughed at me back in the day. Guess who's laughing now? Not them, motherfucker. Me. Your situation, your challenges, your hardships will either be the reason you don't make it, or it will be the story you tell when you do make it. And you get to make that choice.
If you don't know what you're doing, aim at something. Is it the right thing? No, but it's better than just shooting randomly. So you aim at something, and then as you aim and you move towards it, you're going to find out why you're wrong. And then you might recalibrate your aim. And that's going to happen over and over, because as you move towards a goal, it recedes or it broadens, or it recedes and broadens. And otherwise you'd run out of things to do.
You should be a monster. He said you should be a monster. You should be ruthlessly ambitious and then learn how to control it. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. If you really want to be the best of the best, you have to treat every day like it's a whole new project. And there's no shortcuts, there's no slacking off, and your commitment must be 100%.
Force your body to keep going, even though your mind is exhausted, your body is exhausted, and your will is leaving you. And there's parts of you that are telling you to quit. And you have to learn how to manage that.
Be the person who steps forward, starts it off. If you really want to be the best of the best, you have to treat every day like it's a whole new project. And there's no shortcuts, there's no slacking off, and your commitment must be 100%. See what you do when you're tired. We see how you push yourself. Come on, man, get up. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. The next day. Like, I don't want to go outside, it's cold. I don't want to do this, it's hot. Like, you gotta do things that you don't want to do because you show your body that your mind is the boss. You can't be strong if you're weak. If you're weak, you're fucked. You can't just go through life just showing up, eating, sleeping, and going to sleep. You're gonna get depressed. Do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit. Yeah. Understand that you want it bad, so you're willing to put in the work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have that confidence that you know how to push through. And the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get shit done. So a strong mind is not just one that can do calculus. A strong mind is not just one that can write books. A strong mind is one that controls the body and all of its inherent weaknesses and all of its urges to be lazy and sedentary and self-destructive. That's a strong mind. Part of success is just not being fucking lazy and just doing it. That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, I'd be a fat fuck. Because there's a lot of days I don't want to do it. I mean, it's pretty much the same with everybody that actually gets good at something. There's got to be those days you push through. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline, I get things done.